Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Feelgood Friday to you, my friends. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. And if you're not, maybe I can pick you up and lift your mood up a little bit. Those of you who are joining us from work or from your lunch break, we promise not to get you in trouble. We're glad that you're here. We'll keep your secret for you, right? No worries there. Hello, Laurie. Alma's here. Margaret's here. Hi, Susie. Julie. Aunt T is here. Cecilia, Hazel, Kathy. It's so good to see everybody. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Kim. Miss Brenda. I'm so glad to see all of you. I hope that you're well. It's been a time, and it just doesn't seem to be going away. My son is here, and he was just in here just a second ago. He went to the doctor this morning. He has double ear infections and like a whole sinus thing going on. So I don't know. It's just rough this month. Is it like that where you guys are? Has it been maybe it's the weather? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I want it to go away. I do not need any more sickness. So yeah, I don't know. So I hope you're well wherever you are. All right, let's get into all of the fun things. So it is Feelgood Friday. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But first, I would like to let you know that Patreon is open for enrollment anytime you want, anywhere you want. So you don't have to wait on an open enrollment time like you do with Hardwired. So Patreon, you can subscribe anytime. It doesn't matter what kind of social media you use. It's just a couple of quick clicks and you can be a part of Patreon, where you will get at least 3 additional projects from me a month. And not only that, but you will also have access to our Discord server, where you can hang out and share what you're doing with our fellow Patreon members. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I bring it up obviously because I want you to join, but because yesterday I uploaded our project for the time being. I don't want to say for the week, because there's only 3 a month. So I don't necessarily want to say for the week, because I don't want to get people in the habit of thinking there's going to be one weekly, because it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just kind of depends. But you get at least 3 projects from me a month that you're not going to see on Facebook or on YouTube. They are exclusive to Patreon members only. And one got uploaded last night, where I put together the most beautiful vintage inspired citrine double strand bracelet that is just yummy. It is so beautiful. And on Patreon, that is where we focus on using our basic skills. We don't do anything hard, but we put together pieces of jewelry using things that we already have in our stash. So I'm not asking you to go buy anything. I'm not trying to direct you to a website or anything like that. I am simply using things that I already own and creating beautiful pieces of jewelry. For instance, the piece that we did yesterday, it's a stringing project. There wasn't anything difficult to it, but we talked about how and why I picked the things that I did, and how I put them together, and why I put them together the way that I did. It is just a really nice way to get inspired to use the things that you already have in your stash. Because if you're like me, I know you've probably got a ton of beads that are sitting there that you are saving for the perfect project. And my Patreon projects are my way of kind of encouraging you to try to use those things that you are saving for the perfect project. So it's been a lot of fun growing that community, and I hope that it continues to grow, and I would love to invite you to be a part of that. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, please come and join. It is only $10 a month, and we have a lot of fun there. So come hang out with us. All right. So now we are going to talk about Tuesday real quick before we get into our Feelgood Friday show. So next Tuesday, for our regular live that happens at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Vega. She is a bad dog. I don't know where she got that. Second, hey, where did you get that? I'm just going to leave it. Oh, if you hear crunching in the background, that's my dog eating a seed bead tube. Anyway, I'm going to have to vacuum all those seed beads up here in just a few moments when we are finished. Anyway, wow, we'll get back into my headspace here and forget about her crazy. what was I even say? Oh, Tuesday of next week at 1 p.m. Eastern time for our regular weekly live. We will be putting together something using Bargain Beadbox. Yes, again, this is the second time. She did it yesterday too. I know she's out for vengeance. And the thing is that she must have a secret stash of seed beads somewhere, because I have no idea where she's getting them from. Like, there's nothing on the ground that she can get. I don't know. She must be hiding them somewhere. But yeah, so Tuesday we will be doing Bargain Beadbox. So if you have not gotten your Bargain Beadbox yet, or you know, you need some inspiration, that's what the plan is for next Tuesday. So just remind yourself that that's what we got going on. All right, now let's get into what's happening today, right? Enough talk about the future and the what ifs. We're going to talk about right now. Right now it is Feelgood Friday, which is my very favorite day of the week. Here on Feelgood Fridays, we put together fun and easy instant gratification jewelry, and I make it easy for you to do the same by creating kits out of everything that you see in today's show. So I repeat, everything you see in today's show is available for purchase as a kit in my Etsy shop. My team is here in the comment section dropping links to those kits to make it really easy for you to find those in my Etsy shop. However, if you want to go over to my Etsy shop and browse at your leisure, you absolutely can do that. You are going to find today's kits from previous Feelgood Friday shows, as well as finished pieces of jewelry from myself and from my 15-year-old daughter. She has her own little section in the shop, which she needs to put some more things in, but we'll have that conversation later. So yeah, that is the name of the game for our Feelgood Friday shows. We focus on our basic skills. So basic stringing, basic wire techniques, basic knotting. That's what you're going to find here. We don't do anything hard. We use our basics to create gorgeous pieces of jewelry. And yeah, you definitely can purchase everything that you see. Now we're going to start out with an earrings party. Earrings parties are very similar to maker mixes. I haven't made a maker mix in a while, but earrings parties are very similar to that, in that this is a curation of beads that is in pairs. Everything is in a pair with the intention of you being able to create 6 pairs of earrings or more with the earrings party. Now, you are not going to find findings in it. Sometimes, depending on the earrings party, there are components. This one has a couple of metal spacers in it that I got from Tiara Cast, but it is all about the beads. And I give you a little bit of inspiration, but at the end of the day, it is totally up to you to decide how and where you are going to use the beads that are in the earrings party. So I need a different mat to put on top of what I have here. Maybe I'll just scoot this one out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to show you the earrings party first. I'm looking for a bead mat. I grab a bead mat so that we don't make a huge mess here. So I already have something set out on the bead mat. So we're going to use a crinkly bead mat for this. All right. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to get started. Yeah, she can totally eat the seed beads. Wouldn't be the first time she's eaten a bead in her life. And I know that maybe I don't seem like I'm super concerned, but you wouldn't believe the things this dog has eaten. So if she swallows a couple of size 11 seed beads, I'm going to consider that not the worst thing in the world for her, because she's eaten way worse and we've been to the vet for way worse. So yeah, I don't know. If she does that, that's pretty dumb on her part. Okay. So let's see here. We have in our earrings party for the week 2 beautiful mother of pearl shell hearts. These are absolutely stunning and they are drilled right through here. So if you wanted to take a bead and put in the center as you are, putting your wire, your stringing material through there, you absolutely could. All right. This color palette is so pretty. This bead mat color is terrible. So I promise I'll change out the bead mat here in just a second. So some really big, beautiful check fire polish, some in a little bit smaller. There are some check druck beads. Listen, if you like purple, I've got you covered today. I've got some really beautiful purple things and some really beautiful blue and green in today's show. But this little mix here has a lot of beautiful shades of purple. So keep in mind, up to 6 pairs of earrings or more. It really kind of just depends on how it is that you want to put all of these beautiful beads together. There are also Swarovski/Prestige cubes in this one. There are some little tiny 3mm drucks. There are some tiara cast daisy spacers here in beautiful brass color, and some little pearl looking beads. It's really, really pretty one. And again, the idea here is for you to come up with whatever it is that you want. You can put these together to create 6 simple pairs of earrings, or you can put together more than 6 simple pairs, or you can use these beads in combination to come up with 1 or 2 spectacular, beady, fabulous designs. And you don't even have to use these to make earrings. You can use these any way that you want to. I'm just giving you some suggestions, and then you could use these for necklaces. You could use them for literally anything. So again, if you wanted to put beads in the little holes when you are stringing whatever your material is, whether that's wire or bead stringing material, you can totally do that. Or you can, maybe the dark purple would look pretty in there, right? So many fun things you can do with these. I like to leave the holes open. That's just me. But I like to make like the drops where there's a lot of beads going on, like little shoulder dusters, which I think would be really, really pretty. You could do little loops if you wanted to. You can, again, with some really pretty drops. So there's a couple of different colors of the purple that you can mix and match with. So you can create up to, depending on how you put them together, 6 pairs of earrings or more, which is a lot of fun. So that's our earrings party for the week. All right, now we're going to move on to some other things. And I'm going to change out this horrible color bead mat. I don't know why it looks green and gross, but it's a tan color, which is odd for me. All right. Okay, moving on to the next. So we are going to put together a beautiful necklace. I have a lot of beautiful things in today's show. I hope that you guys will feel the same way. So this is a necklace. We're doing necklaces first. I normally do bracelets first, but we're doing necklaces first today because the 2 necklaces that are in today's show are so pretty. I just could not resist. So this one is all about these really beautiful moths. If you like Halloween jewelry that you can wear all year, I think a moth is definitely going to fall into that category. They're just really, really pretty. I've been seeing moths everywhere in home decor and fashion this season coming up for fall. So I figured, why not get in on some of that? So we're going to create a little necklace that has some beautiful, whimsical moths to put into the design. And you could leave them out if you wanted to, and you'd still have a really beautiful design. So I'm going to show you the beads that we're going to be using. So we are using some of these check glass coins that are this like blue purple. They almost have like a green shift to them. Beautiful check coin beads. These are Raven's Journey Zinnia beads. We've got some purple Prestige/Swarovski bicones, some gorgeous purple Druck beads. And then these guys right here, which in a small little pile, you can't really get how pretty they are, but I'll show you. Look how pretty. They have this gorgeous like shift. They're so, so nice. So that's going to be our little spacer bead for this. All right, let's get into it, shall we? So we are going to start out with some simple stringing. Doing a lot of stringing today. I love stringing, so. Plus, I find that the more kits that I put together that are simple stringing projects, the better they do, because I have a lot of beginners and people with dexterity issues that don't want to do wire, so I save a lot of that for my hardwired group. We do a lot of just simple things here for our kits, which is good because instant gratification jewelry is what this is all about. All right, so we are up through our wire guardian, down through our wire guardian, and now we are ready to crimp, making sure that our wires are not crisscrossing. Inside that crimp tube, I'm going to place this into the back notch of my crimper tool. and I'm going to give that a squeeze. And then I'm going to turn that sideways and put that into the front notch of the crimper tool and give that a squeeze. Okay. Then we are going to trim off. All right. Now we are ready to start stringing up some beautiful, beautiful beads. So we are going to start with 5. I believe it was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seed beads. Okay. And as always, guys, I will string up beads and then I will move my hands out of the way so that you can see. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do a bicone. And then we're going to do 5 more, and then we're going to get into our pattern. So this is really just kind of the edge of our beaded section of our necklace. So 5 more seed beads. All right, so there's 5 seed beads. All right, now we are going to string on our little pattern, which is going to be a bicone, a druck, a coin, a druck, and a bicone. Okay. Really, really pretty. You can see how the iridescence of the gray on the or on the seed beads really kind of brings all of this together and makes the coin beads kind of make sense. Because just looking at them, they're obviously not the same kind of purple, but it really kind of just ties the whole color palette together. All right, so now we are going to pick up another 5 seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to repeat our little pattern here. So we're going to do bicone, druck bead, coin, druck, bicone, and then another 5 seed beads. So we're just going to continue this pattern all the way to the end as we've used up all of our beads. Then we'll go back in and add our charms to this. Part of the reason I'm doing it this way and not threading the charms on as we go is because I want you to see that even if you don't use the charms in the necklace, you're still going to have a really beautiful necklace. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you want to use the charms for something else if you don't want them on your necklace. And again, this could be a Halloween design or just a fall design or just an everyday kind of design. I find that when you use things like moths or birds or things like that, cats, for Halloween inspired designs, that you get way more shelf life out of them. It's not one of those like orange and black things that you feel like you can only wear once during the year, during the season. This is definitely one of those things that you could wear anytime you wanted to. Plus, the moths are fun and whimsical. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously here. So always nice to have a fun little piece with some interesting elements to it. All right, another 5 seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then our last little section here with a bicone, a druck bead, a coin, a druck bead, and a bicone. All right. And then we are going to finish that off the same way we started. So 5 seed beads, a bicone, and 5 seed beads. All right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our bicone. Oops. Just use my wire to flip the bicone away. And then 5 more seed beads. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to drop that down. All right. And then we're going to crimp. So as I mentioned, we haven't even added the pendants to this yet. This is a beautiful necklace, or it could be a bracelet. I mean, if you wanted to forego the necklace and just make it into a bracelet, you totally could. but it's beautiful with or without the charms. So wanted you to see it this way. We're going to put our charms and our pendant on here in just a second, but we are going to go ahead and crimp. So I'm going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. I love the charms too. I think that they are a lot of fun and really pretty. I like moths. I love butterflies too, but moths are really special. If you don't know anything about moths, you should look them up because it's quite a special insect, if you will. Their meanings and then their place in our ecosystem. I mean, they're pretty special. All right. So we have all of that. Now we are going to add our pendant, which is the big one here. And we are going to add our smaller little charms to flank that. So we are going to use a 4mm, a 5mm, and a 4mm jump ring. This is going to give this a little bit of length so that it is not right up on top of the beads. I needed there to be a little extra wiggle room so that this was not sitting just like right up there like that. It's just too crowded. So to give it a little length, we are adding a series of jump rings to create a little bit of space here. So let me show you. We're going to, whoops, use this one right here that's already open, save ourselves some trouble. So I'm going to make this one just like I made the other one. So we're doing a 4mm jump ring and then a 5mm jump ring. And of course, in your kit, you have all the jump rings that you need. So no worries, right? And then we're going to take another little 4mm jump ring attached to the top of that. And then we are going to thread this on to the section. So not on the end, but the next little section of seed beads here. So make sure you open your jump ring nice and wide. Thread that onto that little section and then close that back. The jump rings are going to protect your bead stringing wire from the metal of those jump rings. So that guy is just going to sit on top of the jump rings. You don't have to worry about any abrasion happening there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other one. So over here on this side, I feel like I'm putting this one on backwards. All right. So you have the two of the, of course I did. I knew I was going to end up putting one of them on backwards. I'll just flip this one around real quick. Those jump rings is like, well, looks like I'm holding, it's hanging the correct direction, but it was not. So that's okay. Whoops, sorry. All right. So, oh my, flip back around here. There we go. Okay, so there are those two. Now we are going to put this one in the center. And again, need to create a little bit of space because I don't want him up here. If I have him too close with just one jump ring, his little wings are going to be touching those beads and I need him to drop just slightly to hang in a very nice way. So I am going to do basically the same thing here where I am creating a little extra length. So we are going to use a 6mm jump ring as our front facing, and then we are going to use our other jump rings here to link all that together. So a jump ring on, then our 6mm jump ring. So I've used one of the little jump rings, then our 6mm, and then another one of these. And we are going to hook that onto the seed beads. All right, so that is what we have. How pretty. I love it. So pretty. All right, and then the last thing to do here is to add our chain. So you're going to use some little 4mm jump rings to add your chain on the back of your chain. Be sure that you cut your chain to the length that you want and add your jump rings and your clasp to the back there. And we are just going to attach ours quick and easy. It's so pretty and it's so fun. It's very different. And beautiful, right? We love it to be beautiful. We want our jewelry to be pretty. Even if it's whimsical and fun, we still want it to be a pretty showstopper. So there you go. Really, really pretty necklace. If you're feeling a little like you need a piece of jewelry for spooky season, but you don't want it to be over the top, or you just like moths and purple and you just want to wear it all year, that's going to be me. This is definitely a piece that I would wear anytime I wanted to, right? I don't have to have an excuse to wear a beautiful moth or a butterfly. So there you go. All right, moving on to the next. All right, I'm going to sit this one over to the side. Necklace bust. I'll go ahead and hang this one up so it'll be ready when we get to that point in the show. All right, the next one that I have for you guys is a remake of a classic that you guys loved the first time around. So we are putting it together a second time, this time with a little bit of change to it. So I'm going to show you what we've got here. What we have is some really, really beautiful greens and a little sparkle kind of topaz color. So there's our sparkly topaz. So pretty. Got a little bellflower. Some beautiful green druck beads. So this is the Harvest Glow necklace, and it really does kind of glow. So I am anxious to put this one together so that you can see. But our fire polish also has that AB finish to it, which is gorgeous. And then we have some smaller Czech fire polish in here. These little 3mm. We're also using some seed beads as our spacers that are green as well. So this time we are going to create our pendant first, and then we will do the stringing part of this. So let me just separate everything out here so we can get into it. All right. So move my seed beads out of the way. We are using one of the Tiara Cast pendants here that is a double drill. So you can see it's got a hole on the top and a hole on the bottom. It does have print on the back, which is really nice. It's really beautiful. Okay, so what we are going to do with this is we are going to add some Czech fire polish and then a flower. So our little bellflower down here at the bottom to hang from that. So it's like a little flower to hang, and then we are going to string up the rest of this, and this will be hanging in the center. So we are going to wire wrap our bellflower. We're going to thread that on to a head pin, and then we're just going to bend the wire right where it is exiting the bead. We're going to come in. You can do this with a regular wrapped loop if you want to, but I'm going to do the little bead cap loop that I do. So I'm grabbing the wire with my round nose pliers. I'm going up and over, rotate the wire, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm kind of rolling that loop down to the top surface of that bead so that now when I wire wrap, I'm wire wrapping around the base of my loop, but I'm also kind of capping the top of my flower as I continue to wrap, which to me just gives like a little bead cap look to the bead. So pretty. All right, so then I'm going to trim off. And then you're going to take 2 of your Czech fire polish and you're going to do wrapped loops on those. I don't know why I didn't undo one of them so we could do it together, but you're just going to do wrapped loops on those. And then we're going to create a little drop off of the bottom of our pendant here. So we are going to take a jump ring. Got 3 jump rings for this little area. So we're going to take a jump ring. We are going to thread on our bellflower, and then we're going to close the jump ring back. Okay. Then we are going to take another jump ring. You're going to thread that on to the previous jump ring, and we're going to put a check fire polish on the left and a check fire polish on the right, and we're going to close that back. So you can see it's like the check fire polish are like little leaves, right? And then we're going to take another jump ring to add to that jump ring, and we're going to attach that to the bottom of our pendant. Okay, so that's what you've got. Then we're going to take another jump ring for the top of this so that we can very easily string this onto our necklace, which we are going to start stringing up right now in just a second. So go ahead and put your jump ring on the top of that and set that over to the side so that it's ready to go. All right, now get your bead stringing wire. Okay, and you are going to thread on your crimp. I have the fan on me and my fingers are starting to get really, really cold. I had a hard time holding on to these. Let me turn the fan off. My goodness. Really difficult to do anything when your fingers are starting to go numb on you because they're so cold. Can't hold the crimp beads, that's for sure. All right. Yes, the flowers are check glass as well. Yep. All right, and then we're going to crimp. All right, and we are going to start stringing up our pattern here. So this one is going to start off very similarly to the one that we just did, in that we are starting with some seed beads. So we're going to start with 6 of the seed beads. So I'm going to pick those up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just gives us a little length, but also gives us a lot of really beautiful color. Then we're going to do 3 of the small check fire polish. So there's 1, 2, and 3 of those. All right. Then we are going to do 2 fire polish, but each one of these are going to have seed beads between them. So we're going to start with a seed bead. Then we're going to do a fire polish. This one is one of the larger fire polish. Okay. Seed bead, fire polish. Dropping those down. Okay. Seed bead, a druck bead, a seed bead, druck bead, seed bead, and then I'll move my hand out of the way so you can see this pattern here. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now we're going to do 3 of the faceted round beads with no seed beads in between them. So these are just sparkly and pretty and fun. Love these. A little flash to this necklace. Just needed a little sparkle, not over the top, just a little sparkle. Okay. And then we are going to do 2 more of the fire polish. So we're going to do seed bead, fire polish, seed bead, fire polish, seed bead. Then we're going to do one of the baby fire polish. And then we're going to do another 6 of the seed beads. And this is where our pendant is going to go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Drop those down. Then you can go ahead and thread on your pendant. Remember, the seed beads are going to protect the bead stringing wire from the jump ring, so no worries about any abrasion there. And then we're just going to finish off our pattern by repeating what we have. So small fire polish, seed bead, then we're going to do the larger fire polish, seed bead, larger fire polish, seed bead, 3 of our fancy sparkly beads. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Seed bead, druck, seed bead, druck, seed bead. They are pretty flashes for sure. And then our 2 larger of the fire polish. So fire polish, seed bead, fire polish, seed bead, 3 of the small fire polish. And then you're going to finish that with 6 seed beads. And then I'm going to move my hand so you can see this before we crimp it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop that down. All right, let's take a look at what we have so far. Look how pretty. So pretty. Love this one. So we've done this previously, but it was just a little bit different. It's been a while since I've had these little tiara cast connector pendants in here. So I am going to crimp this one and hope that you guys love it as much as you loved it the first time that we did it. So there's a question. Is the metal bead with the holes on either end considered to be a connector? It is considered to be a connector, but I'm calling it a pendant because that's the way that we're using it. But yes, it most definitely would be considered a connector because there's a hole on the top and a hole on the bottom. But if you turned it sideways, there's a hole on the right and a hole on the right on the left, right? So it could be considered a connector. I just call it a pendant because that's the way we're using it. But yes, you are correct. All right, so our crimp bead. And then our wire guardian. Thank you, Carol. All right. Okie dokie. Now we are going to place this into the back notch of our crimper tool. That a squeeze, turn it sideways, give that a squeeze, and then we are going to trim off the excess. All right, and then we're just going to add our chain to it. Now, if you've got extra beady goodness at home and you want to bead the rest of this, please feel free to do so. Chain is pretty standard for kits here. So chain is what it is, but I think this would be really pretty with maybe even a ribbon for the length. You could use like a piece of leather if you wanted to, which I wish I had, because I think if I had the leather, I probably would have done leather instead. I haven't made a leather order in a while and I really, really need to. But if you've got leather at home, feel free to use it instead of the chain. But there we go. So pretty. It's so pretty. And the sparkle is not over the top with this one, right? I love a good sparkly piece, but this one is, I don't know. It's just the right amount without being in your face. You've got the beautiful sparkle from the AB finish on the check fire polish, and then you have these little sparkly guys right here. But it's subdued enough that I think you could wear this one every day. You could put it on with a white t-shirt and you wouldn't feel like you've got on your princess jewelry. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I do love wearing my princess jewelry everywhere I go. But you know, that's not for everybody. So if you like a little sparkle but not too over the top, this is a great one. This is also a really nice transitional piece as far as the color palette is concerned, from going from summer into fall. This is going to be one of those that I think you're going to be able to wear for at least 3 seasons. And I would wear it in the wintertime just for a nice pick-me-up. You know, when you get the winter blues, this is a good one to go to. So there you go. All right, moving on to the next. I've got 2 beautiful bracelets for you guys that I think that you will also really love. All right, so we're going to start with our bee design. First of all, can we just appreciate this color palette? How pretty is that? So I have some Raven's Journey check glass coin beads in this beautiful teal with bumblebees on them. Or not necessarily bumblebees. Bees, they're honeybees. They're not bumblebees. Bumblebees can be kind of grouchy. So we'll call those our little honeybees. All right, this one is all in copper, which we love. Some little copper flower beads, some purple Druck beads. There are also some purple Prestige / Swarovski bicones for this one, some copper seed beads, and then the rondelles. I love these rondelles because they are this beautiful creamy, it's just a soft color, but you see the AB finish on those is purpley green, so it really kind of ties all of this together. Got a couple of bead caps. This is just a nice little stringing project that we are going to put together. Try to fish out my crimps here. There is a little extension chain for this one with a little bicone on the end. So you can get a lot of different size bracelets out of this one. All right, so I'm going to put this one together. Bead stringing wire. We're going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. This one is so pretty put together. All right. I always think of you when I put together purple things. You and Kathy, every time I've got anything purple on my desk, I think about you, Nicole, and Kathy for sure. All right, trimming off the excess, and then we are going to get started. All right, so we are going to start with 4 seed beads. If you haven't noticed already, seed beads are a great way to create length. And that is exactly how I'm using them today. So 4 beautiful copper seed beads. And then we're going to do 3 of the rondelles. Exactly. Denise says you can't go wrong with purple and turquoise. I cannot think of a better combination. All right, then one of our copper beads, 3 more of our rondelles. All right, and then we're going to do another 4 seed beads. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drop that down. So pretty. All right, then we're going to do a bead cap, a Druck bead, and a bead cap. Okay, then we are going to do a seed bead, a bicone, a seed bead. All right, then one of our coins. So we're going to thread our coin bead on. And then again, a seed bead, bicone, seed bead. Drop that down. Another coin. Carol, you're going to love this one in person. It's so, so pretty. All right, then we're going to do seed bead again. So we're using up all of our coin beads here, right in the middle. Seed bead. And then our coin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's really pretty too. All right, seed bead, bicone, and a seed bead. You should have one bicone left at this point. Save it because we're going to put it on the end of our extension chain. Okay. All right. Now we are going to do bead cap. Thank you, Cecilia. I appreciate your support so, so much. Thank you so, so much. All right. And then we are going to do 4 seed beads. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Then 3 of our rondelles. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to break those up with one of our little copper flowers. 3 more rondelles. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to finish that off with 4 seed beads, and we're going to crimp it. And then we are going to make a little dangle for our extension chain and add that to the end. All right, so that's what we've got so far. Look how pretty. Oh, I love it. I love it so, so much. All right, crimp going on. And then our wire guardian. Okay. Whoops. And we are going to crimp this. So put that into the back notch of your crimper tool. Give it a squeeze. Don't accidentally crush your seed beads. I can't tell you the number of times I've done that. Trim. All right. Now, I have jump rings here. I have a jump ring for my clasp that's going to go on one side. On the other side, I have made a little chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jump rings. That is just so that you can make this any length that you want it to be, right? You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but I made a little extension chain out of them, and I'm going to wire wrap, or I'm going to do a little wrapped loop with a bicomb and attach that at the end, just because I like a decorated extension chain. So I'm going to go ahead and wire wrap this one. So put the bicone onto a head pin, bend the wire. Then I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. Up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then I'm going to wire wrap in that space. Okay, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. All right, and then I'm going to open up this not the bicone, this jump ring on the end here to add my little bead to it. And then I'm going to open up the other end of that and put that. It's funny because you can tell where I had this all put together and then took it apart, and for whatever reason didn't take it all the way apart. I guess I was thinking it would save some time. All right, so that's what you've got. Not a lot of extra going on here, just a little dangle at the end of our extension chain. I know it's weird that I don't have tons of dangles going on with this one. But it's beautiful all by itself. I don't think it needed anything super crazy extra. Just a really pretty, pretty color palette that I think you guys are going to love. This one in person is so pretty. So if you're even thinking about this one, don't don't let the camera deceive you. It really is sparkly and beautiful and just a really, really nice color palette. All right, going to move on to another bracelet. We have one more bracelet and a pair of earrings for the rounding out to the end of our show here. All right, so now if purple and teal and green are not really your thing, that's okay. I have blue, and so many people like blue. So we have beautiful sapphire blue with a little AB finish. There are some prestige Swarovski little bicones in this one. Also using some seed beads. Also have one of those gorgeous Zinnia coin beads from Raven's Journey. So I'm going to put this one together for you, which I adore the texture that is in this design. And I'm going to talk about where that comes in as we start to put this one together. But let me separate my beads out because that makes my life so much easier when we are doing this. So I know it always takes a couple of seconds, but I promise it's worth it. It's much easier to find the beads once they're all sorted than it is to try to chase them around the mat. And then I get frustrated, you get frustrated. It's a whole thing. All right, so we've got some bead caps in this one as well. Definitely want to grab my bead caps and put them over here where I can get to them. There are my crimps. There's my wire guardian. Okay, a couple more bead caps and separate my jump rings. So this one also has a little bit of an extension chain on the end of it, which I have dressed up a little bit more than the previous bracelet. So you can, as always, leave the extension chain off if you don't need it, but if you do need it, it's going to be a sparkly one. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. So we are going to thread on our crimp. This one is so pretty when it is put together. And this one, and again, I know I don't want anybody to ever think, oh, all I do is, not me speaking, but for you. If you're just a stringer, don't add just to that. Okay. You are a stringer. There's nothing about that you should be ashamed of. If you don't ever touch wire in your life, or you don't ever decide that you want to do macrame and stringing is your main thing, it's an art form. It really is an art form. So I don't ever want you to discount or discredit yourself if stringing is your thing. And there's a reason that I say that, and that is because there is so much more to it than just putting your beads on a wire. You have to think through the little stations, the little sections, and where the texture is going to come in, and what kind of texture you want, and how you want that all to work together hand in hand. So this is a really good example of that, because we have a lot of different shape here. We have coin, we have fire polish with the facets. We also have the addition of visual shape when we have that fire polish, because that adds a whole extra level to it. And we are complementing all of that with the iridescence that comes from the seed beads. The seed beads create space, but they also add color and a little extra visual texture because of the iridescence. Then when we add in these guys, this is where things get extra cool. And so we're going to talk about the texture that these add. This little bead looks so unassuming until you add it into the design, and it really kind of changes things up. So I'm going to start stringing this one up. We are going to start with 2 seed beads. So 1, 2 on the seed beads. Then we are going to do a check fire polish, the smaller one. Okay. Then a bead cap. Roberta, everything that you see in the show today is a kit that you can purchase in my Etsy shop. So yes, everything you see here you can grab as a kit. Okay, so there's a bead cap. Then we're going to do one of the larger fire polish, a bead cap, okay, then the smaller fire polish. All right, now this bracelet, okay, could be just this, right? Just this, where we do the small, the bead cap, the larger, the small, or the bead cap, this, and it would be gorgeous, right? And that basically is what we are going to do. But I have broken that up a little bit with the seed beads and the addition of these little squashed bicones, because if you look at them, they're not regular bicones. They're wider than they are tall. So they add some really interesting visual, I don't know, interest, I guess, to the piece. So we're going to use these in between our little sections like this by doing 2 seed beads and then adding one of these guys and 2 seed beads. Now, when we do another section of our simple pattern here, it just kind of makes things a little bit more interesting than if I had just stuck with alternating small bead, large bead, small bead, large bead, right? Makes it a little different, gives it a little bit more jazz, I guess. Jazzes it up just a little bit more. And really kind of elevates that space, because again, we're using our seed beads to create length, but not only are we using the seed beads to create length, we also want those to be interesting spaces as well. So you can see we've taken the roundness of our fire polish and kind of broken that up by adding in this little spiky looking bicone to break up the space and create some really fun texture in there. So that's the pattern for this all the way around. Okay, so we're going to do another 2 seed beads, one of our bicones, 2 seed beads. All right. And then we are going to add another fire polish and a bead cap. These bead caps are tricky because they already have a lot of holes in them, so you got to kind of pay attention when you're threading your bead string and wire through them. All right, drop down the larger. All right, another bead cap. And then the smaller fire polish. And you can see how it really breaks that up really, really nicely. All right, so another 2 seed beads, a bicone, 2 seed beads, okay, and then we're going to repeat the pattern again. So small fire polish, bead cap, larger fire polish, smaller fire polish, oh, Julie, thank you so much. All right, 2 seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads, drop that down. All right, and again with our pattern, so we're almost to the end here. And then we're going to add some dangles to this one, because I've spent this entire show not really adding a lot of dangles, but I couldn't resist. So we're going to add a dangle in the form of our Raven's Journey coin bead here. And a little extension chain that's got a little extra sparkle to it. A little razzle dazzle, if you will. All right, so last little section. So 2 seed beads. Wait a minute. No, we're not doing that again. Just kidding. No, we are. Like, what is happening? think I'm missing some of my seed beads. That's okay. I have more seed beads. All right, so 2. I'm not. It's because I thought I started with 4. I didn't. I started with 2. We have just the right amount. Don't listen to me second guessing myself. Robin says razzle dazzle, little razzle dazzle. I haven't heard that in such a long time. What? Oh, yes. Don't read the comment section and try to put your beads on at the same time. Oh my goodness. All right. And then we are going to finish that off with 2 seed beads. All right. So what you're going to have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your check, or not your check, your little crystal bicones left. We'll add those to our extension chain, and we still need to wire wrap this guy. So we're almost done, but not quite. All right, so I have all of those beautiful things. And guys, we still have 1 pair of earrings to put together, so don't go anywhere unless you have to. If you have to, I understand. But I have 1 more kit to show you, a quick one right after this, and then we'll be done for the day. I apologize for taking longer than an hour, but I just couldn't help it. So much beady goodness in here today. So you definitely want to stick around for the earrings because they're teapots and they're fabulous. All right. So we're going to crimp. Place that into the back notch of our crimper tool. Making sure those wires are separated. Give that a squeeze. Put that sideways into the front notch. Give that a squeeze. And then we are going to trim. Okay, so we have all of that ready to go, which is beautiful all by itself. The blues, that sapphire, the deep and the light. Ooh, chef's kiss. So pretty. So pretty. All right, so each one of your little bicones that are left, again, you've got 5 that are left. You're going to put those onto the ball head pins that are in your kit, and you're going to do wrapped loops on those and set those to the side. Then you're going to take your coin, and this one goes onto just a regular head pin. So we're not going to do the ball head pin on this one, but we're going to do the same wrapped loops that are on these onto this guy. So we're going to come in with our chain nose pliers. Grab the wire where it exits the bead, bend the wire over the top of the pliers. Then you're going to come in with your round nose pliers, and you're going to go up and over the top barrel of the pliers, rotate those pliers in your hand so that you can take the wire over to the other side, and then you're going to wire wrap in that space between the loop and the top of your bead. All right, and we're going to trim off the excess. Sandy, you made me smile. You made me smile really big. Probably blushing a little bit. I don't know, but I appreciate that so much. All right. It's funny because I always feel bad because I'm like, gosh, it's been over an hour. People are so sick of me right now. All right, so now we are going to put all of this together. Let's put our little extension chain together first. So we are going to open up a jump ring, and we're going to thread on a bicone, and we're going to close this back. Now listen, this is not a cluster, okay? This is not a cluster, so don't get confused with when we do our beaded clusters. This is different. This is just willy-nilly, okay? There are no rules to this one. It doesn't matter what side you put what bead on. So after we close that jump ring, we're going to attach another one, and then we're going to throw a bead on there. And it doesn't matter. Left, right, makes no difference, right? It's just an extension chain. You're going to close that back. You're going to pick up another jump ring. In other words, an extension chain with beads on it does not have to be balanced. It doesn't. Unless you are just a stickler for things like that, it really doesn't matter. So all I'm doing is just adding jump rings to this to create a little chain that I can attach my clasp to anywhere I want, and just throwing some little sparkle onto it to make it a little bit more interesting visually. All right, so there's that. I'm going to close that back, and I'm going to put one just plain jump ring on the end. and I'm going to attach that to one of my wire guardians. So now you've got yourself a little sparkly extension chain that you can attach your clasp anywhere on there. Okay. Now another jump ring on the other side to attach our Zinnia coin. That's going to go onto our wire guardian. And then another jump ring with our clasp. And that's also going to go onto our wire guardian. So then we can attach this like so. We have our little dangly extension chain and our little Zinnia bead. And listen, if you want to leave these off, that's okay. I'm okay with it. Some people don't like dangles on their bracelets. Some people, it drives them absolutely crazy. That's fine. And if that's the case, use these beads for something else. Make some little earrings out of them if you want to. Save this and make this a pendant on a necklace if you want. Or you can even take this bead and thread it, excuse me, into the middle of your design. So you're not going to hurt my feelings when it comes to, I'm going to grab a drink real quick, guys. I've got an itch in my throat. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you redesign a design that I put together to suit your needs. Because again, not everybody wants an extension chain. Not everybody wants a dangle. So please put this together however it makes you happy. And then feel free to post it, because I'm not going to get mad about it. You do what you want to do. I just give you something pretty, and then you can do the rest, right? All right, one last kit for the day, and then I will let you guys go temporarily, because as you know, I will be live over on artbeads.com at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon with a fun little project for you guys. So I'm going to set this to the side. Excuse me. All right, last project of the day. Something is getting me. Oh my gosh, hold on. I don't want to spend the last few minutes of this live coughing, but I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. All right. So our last little kit for the day is a cute little earrings kit that is teapots, a little flower, some dangle-doos, super, super cute. So this is our little teapot. What did I call these? I think I called these, excuse me, tea in the garden. So I'm going to show you real quick how to put these together. All right, so you're going to do check fire polish onto head pins. You're going to do wrapped loops. We're going to do that right now. So I'm going to thread one on. So 3 per earring. So you're going to do a total of 6 of these with wrapped loops. Bend the wire over the top of the pliers, coming in with your round nose pliers. Up and over. Rotate, take the wire. I definitely need a Ricola. Ricola. I used to have like I used to have some Hall's cough drops in here, but I don't know what's happened to them. Oh my. Also, as I'm talking, I'm making the world's worst wrapped loop ever, which my apologies for that. Was a little wonky. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right, then we're going to trim off the excess. And we're now all singing I'm a Little Teapot. All right, so you're going to do wrapped loops on all of your little check fire polish beads, okay? So then what you're going to do is you are going to take an eye pin, okay, and have your eye pin ready. We're going to use 2 jump rings to make a little cluster. Oops, I just dropped that in the floor. To make a little cluster out of our check fire polish. So open up a jump ring, thread on one of the check fire polish, and then you are going to close that back. Okay. Take another jump ring. Open up your jump ring, thread that onto the previous jump ring. Now this time you do want to make this balanced. So 1 bead on the left and then 1 bead on the right. And then before you close that, thread on your eye pin. Okay, and then close that back. All right, so now you can see you've got a little cluster that's nice and even. Okay, you're going to thread on a check glass flower, head down. Then you're going to thread on the bottom of your teapot. So this little guy right here, you're going to thread on a check glass druck, and then the top of your teapot. So cute. All right, and then you're just going to do a wrapped loop and add your ear wire to it. You could do a simple loop if you wanted to. We're going to do a wrapped loop. So we're going to grab the wire. We're going to bend that over the top of our pliers. Round nose pliers coming in, up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then wire wrap in that space. I have lots of teapots and teacups in charm and bead cap form. So if you like the teapots, they're usually pretty popular when I use them in kits. They have been in the past. If you're looking forward to more of those, I've got some more coming your way in the upcoming Feelgood Friday shows. So, all right, then the last thing to do is just to add your ear wire. I think these are so stinking cute. Love them. I love them. And there you go. So cute. So, so cute. Cute little teapots. Aren't they adorable? Very, very pretty. All right, guys, I'm going to turn you around. And we're going to do a quick run through of everything. You guys are you're just amazing. You're just amazing. I am always, I don't know. I don't embarrass or blush very easily, but you guys do have a tendency to do that to me. I get a little emotional when this community rallies behind me, because you guys have seen me go through a lot of you. Some of you are new and you have no idea, and you should go back and look at some of the things that this group has been through, because I've been at this a while. I mean, this group has gone through divorce with me, moving with me, TV journeys with me. Like, we've been through a lot of things. And the fact that you guys have been there with me every step of the way and still continue to support me is amazing. But what really sets this group apart is that you're not just doing it for me, you're doing it for each other. And that, to me, is the most incredible thing in the entire universe, because I look at the world and I see the state of the world and I worry, and I'm like, we're all going to hell in a handbasket. Excuse my French, you know? Some days it feels that way when you see so much violence and so much bad news out there. But then I come to this community and I see you guys talking so kindly to me, and then also doing it to each other and encouraging each other and lifting each other up. And it gives me hope. So I appreciate every word, every comment, every thumbs up. I love you to pieces, you guys. And I love that you love each other more than that. So, thank you for being an amazing community and loving on each other. Not just me. Like, that's cool. And I love it that you love on me, but I love that you love on each other. So, and welcoming in our new people. That's so awesome. Like, it just should let them know they're in the right place. They're in the right place. All right, let's take a quick look at everything we've done today. We did a beautiful moth necklace that I'm getting set on the bust here, and then holding crooked, because I cannot seem to hold anything straight up and down when we do this, because everything's backwards. So there is our beautiful little magical moth necklace that we put together. Now, again, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you leave the moths off, if you just like the necklace for what it is and you use the moths for something else. But I do think that they are whimsical and fun, and, you know, something you could wear for Halloween without it being like over the top, you know, little fun. All right. And then we had our beautiful green, which I adore this one as well. I think this is such a beautiful necklace. So there's that one. that we put together. Now, just a reminder for those of you who are new, everything you see today is available for purchase as a kit in my Etsy shop. My team's got the links here in the comment section, or you can just head on over to my Etsy shop and you'll find kits from today as well as kits from previous Feel Good Friday shows. There's finished pieces of jewelry from me and from my 15-year-old daughter, who is a budding entrepreneur and maker. So pretty. All right. And then we had the bracelets, right? Can't forget the bracelets. We had this gorgeous teal and purple with the little crystal sparkle. So yummy. And the copper. I think the copper was the right choice for this one. I think this would have been pretty in gold or silver, but copper was definitely the right choice. All right. And then our beautiful blues. That is just a stunning blue. I'm a fan, obviously, with my blue fingernails, but you cannot go wrong with a sapphire with AB finish. Dangles or no dangles, this is a gorgeous piece of jewelry. And then last but not least, we have our little teapots. How cute are they? Love the teapots. They're so fun and whimsical. Now they're in the floor. At least one of them was. They're so cute. Super, super cute. Fun little pieces of jewelry, because we don't take ourselves too seriously here. I always say that. We do not take ourselves too seriously. If you are not having fun and your jewelry does not make you smile or make you feel like a princess, then you're doing it wrong, right? All right, my friends, I am out of here. Excuse me. I will be back. So if you would like to see me again today for a second dose of Sarah, and wow, if you want to hang with me some more, that's pretty darn cool, because some people one dose is enough. But if you'd like to see me again today, go over to artbeats.com and I will be there live at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. We are doing a cute little fire polish earrings project. I was supposed to do this on Sunday of last weekend, but had a migraine, so I did not get to do this project. So this is the project for today. How many earrings can we drop on the floor today? This is the project for our show over on Art Beats this afternoon. So if you want to come and hang out, I'll be over there. If I don't see you later, I will see you next week. Have an amazing weekend. We'll be back together on Tuesday for our bargain bead box day. And yeah, that's it for me. I love you. Bye. Mwah. Bye.